Right now, there is a female mosquito somewhere in your yard hunting for a place to lay her eggs. She is not coming from the woods. She is not blowing in from your neighbor's yard. She was born in your yard, in water you probably walked past this morning without thinking twice. The dish under the flower pot by your front step. The low fold in the tarp covering your grill. The one clogged gutter on the back corner of the house you keep meaning to clean. And she is about to have 300 children. I want to tell you about a trip I took to Holmes County, Ohio. I had been hearing about Amish farming for a while. The way they work land without chemicals, the way their animals do better, the way their food lasts longer. I wanted to see it for myself, so I went. I spent a few days around some of these farms, talking to the families who let me, watching how things were done. And one evening I am sitting on a porch with an older farmer named Jonas, watching the sun go down over his land. His wife is in the garden. His grandkids are running through the grass barefoot, and I am waiting for the mosquitoes to find me. The way they always do at dusk on a warm evening near farmland with ponds and ditches and standing water everywhere. They never came, not one, not to me, not to the kids, not to anyone on that porch. And I just sat there for a moment, honestly a little confused, because I know what dusk near water feels like. I know what that first sting on the back of your arm feels like. So I asked him about it. I said, "You have got water all over this property. You have ponds, you have ditches, you have a rain barrel right there by the door. How is there not a single mosquito?" He looked at me the way you look at someone who has asked what bread is. Then he walked me behind his woodshed and showed me a 5-gallon bucket. That conversation changed how I think about mosquito control, and I am going to share everything he told me and everything I have learned since, because by the end of this, you will know how to push mosquitoes off your own property this weekend for less than the cost of one professional spray visit, and you will not need to harm a single honeybee to do it. But first, let me tell you the part that actually bothers me. The solution costs $17. The pest control companies in your town have known about it for 40 years, and most of them are still selling you something that kills your honeybees right along with the mosquitoes. Not because the safe option does not work, because the safe option does not run out every month. Stay with me. Let me start with the thing almost everyone gets wrong, because if you miss this, none of the rest matters. Mosquitoes do not live in the air. They do not drift in from somewhere else. Every mosquito biting you in your own backyard hatched in your own backyard. Not very much water. A bottle cap of water held in the crease of a tarp is enough. The saucer under your potted tomato plant is enough. A clogged gutter holding half a cup of rainwater for 4 days is enough. A female mosquito can lay anywhere from a handful to 300 eggs at a time. She can do it in less water than you could hold in your cupped hands. And those eggs hatch in as little as 2 days when the weather is warm. That is the whole game. The mosquito problem is a water problem. Always has been. Jonas explained it to me this way. He said the English, meaning everyone outside their community, they want to kill the mosquito after it has already hatched and flown into their face. We kill it in the water before it ever has wings. Their way takes a monthly bill and a foggy yard that smells like a chemistry classroom. Our way takes about an hour a month. He told me his grandfather walked the property every Saturday morning in summer with an empty coffee can and tipped out every saucer, every tarp pocket, every bucket, every wheelbarrow that had collected water during the week. He called it walking the line. Never used a chemical in his life. Raised 7 children on that farm without a screen tent or a bug zapper. In the places where he could not drain the water, the low spots in the pasture, the rain barrel by the back porch, the cattle trough, he had a different answer. And that answer is what Jonas walked me over to show behind the woodshed. It is called mosquito bits. Sometimes mosquito dunks, depending on the form. You will find them in the lawn and garden section of any hardware store, often near the pond supplies. $17. What is inside them is something called BTI. I will not make you say the full name. What matters is what it is. A naturally occurring bacterium that lives in soil all over the world. It was first identified in samples taken from a dry lake bed in the 1970s. Researchers noticed something remarkable about it. It killed mosquito larvae with extraordinary precision and left everything else completely alone. Here is the science, in plain language. The gut of a mosquito larva, that small wriggling creature living in your standing water before it grows wings, has a very specific chemistry. It is alkaline in a particular way that almost nothing else in nature shares. BTI produces a protein that only activates inside that chemistry. When a larva eats a particle of it, that protein punches a hole in the larva's digestive system. Within 24 hours, the larva is dead. That is the mechanism. It is not a broad poison. It is a precision tool that reads gut chemistry and acts only on the one creature that matches. Honeybees do not match. Butterflies do not match. Dragonflies do not match. Fish, frogs, songbirds, your dog, your children, none of them match. The protein cannot activate in any of their bodies because their gut chemistry is completely different. You could dissolve mosquito bits in a glass of water and drink it, and you would feel nothing at all. Please do not drink it. That is not the point I am making. The point is that the specificity is real, documented, and confirmed by decades of use. Germany has been using BTI in their public mosquito control program since 1981. Pennsylvania uses it. Maryland uses it. They apply it from aircraft over marshland. It is the most thoroughly studied biological mosquito control product on the planet, and it has been for decades. So why is the lawn company not using it on your yard? But first, learn how to use it. The label says that 1 teaspoon will control mosquito larvae in up to 25 square feet. A couple grains in each bucket should do the trick. The label also says to reapply every 7 to 14 days. Now, why your lawn company doesn't use it? Haha. Simple. BTI is cheap. One $17 container lasts a family the entire summer. A monthly spray contract costs $60 to $90 per visit. You do the math on which one the lawn company would rather sell you. And here's what that spray actually does when they drive the truck down your street. The chemicals most companies use to kill adult mosquitoes do not read gut chemistry. They kill on contact. And bees are insects. When a bee is in your yard at the wrong moment and that truck comes through, the bee dies. Not sometimes, reliably. I asked Jonas about this directly. I said, "Do you ever have trouble with the spray trucks coming through?" He nodded slowly. He said, "They are killing our livelihood while they pretend to help their neighbors." I think about that line a lot. 11 hives on that farm. His wife's half-acre of flowers right there. 9 years without being bitten in his own yard. No spray truck. No chemical company. He figured out what actually works without breaking what he loves. Now let me show you the system, exactly how it works, in the order you do it. The first thing every single time before you spend $1 is walking your property. Take an empty coffee can and go around every corner of your yard. Every saucer under every potted plant gets tipped out, every tarp fold, every wheelbarrow. The bird bath gets emptied and rinsed. Any container holding water for more than 3 days is a nursery, and you shut it down. This costs nothing. It takes about an hour once a week in summer, and it is half the battle, maybe more than half. You can set out 50 buckets of BTI, and it will not do you as much good as eliminating the 6 little catch pools hiding in your own yard. For everything you cannot drain, the rain barrel, any low spot that holds water after a heavy rain, a pond or ditch, use the dunks. They look like small brown donuts. One covers about 100 square feet of water surface and keeps killing larvae for 30 days. Toss one in the rain barrel on the 1st of every month from May through September. That is the whole maintenance schedule for water you cannot remove. For your gutters, check whether they are holding any debris, leaves, buildup, anything that traps moisture. If they are, clean them, and then sprinkle a small amount of mosquito bits straight into the gutter every few weeks during mosquito season. Most homeowners have no idea their gutters are one of the biggest mosquito breeding grounds on the property. The debris holds just enough water in just the right amount of shade. Closing that down is one of the highest impact things you can do, and almost nobody mentions it. Now the bucket system. Because one dunk in the rain barrel is good, a system that draws every female on your property away from you is better. Jonas uses 3 dark-colored buckets. One behind the woodshed, one on the east side of the property, one tucked behind the herb garden where it is out of view. Here is why dark-colored. A female mosquito looking for a place to lay her eggs is searching for water that looks like the still, shaded pools her species has always used. A bright white bucket in full sun does not read as home to her. A dark bucket in the shade does. The color is not decorative, it matters. Each bucket fills halfway with water. In goes a small handful of grass clippings or a few dead leaves. As those clippings break down, they release the same compounds that decaying vegetation releases in a natural pond. The scent that tells a female mosquito this is a good place to raise her young. You are not building a swamp. You are building a counterfeit one. The most attractive piece of real estate on your whole property, as far as she is concerned, placed as far from you as you can put it. Then one heaping spoonful of mosquito bits floated on the surface. Do not stir it in. Let it float. Every female mosquito within range flies to that bucket to lay. Every egg she lays dies within 24 hours. The bucket lasts 2 to 4 weeks before the BTI breaks down naturally. Then you add another spoonful. 3 buckets, 1 spoonful, 2 to 4 weeks of protection, and your bees do not lose a single worker. Now, that handles the larva, but you still have adult mosquitoes out there right now, born last week, looking for blood so they can lay one more round before they die. For those, we use the second part of the system, essential oils, real ones, cedarwood, rosemary, clove, lemongrass, peppermint, garlic. These are not perfumes. They are concentrated plant compounds that have been used as insect repellents for a very long time, all over the world, by people who had no other option and figured out what worked. You can buy them already blended in spray form at the hardware store, or mix your own in a pump sprayer. Here is the part most people get wrong. Do not spray the open air. The oils evaporate quickly and you are wasting them. What you want to spray is the underside of every leaf in your hedges and shrubs, the inside of your woodpile, the eaves of your porch, the back of any lattice or trellis around the yard. During the day, adult mosquitoes are not flying. They are resting in the cool shade on the underside of leaves, waiting for evening. Spray those resting places, and you reach the whole adult population in one afternoon. Do not spray flowers that are open and blooming. These oils will not kill a honeybee, but they will drive her away from the bloom, and that is the opposite of what any of us want. One more thing Jonas showed me that evening on the porch. His wife came out with an old tin can, a coffee can with a few nail holes punched in the sides. Inside went a small piece of charcoal and a handful of dried herbs from the garden, rosemary, sage, a little dried lavender. She set it on the porch railing and let it smolder. The smoke drifted out through those nail holes. It smelled nothing like a chemical product, more like something good coming from a kitchen on a cold morning. Now, I want to put this in a larger picture for a moment because it is not a small thing. Mosquitoes kill more human beings every year than any other animal on Earth. Not bears, not snakes, not any predator you would think of first. They spread West Nile virus, which is established in every state in this country. In other parts of the world, they spread diseases that still kill hundreds of thousands of people every year, most of them children. This is not a minor inconvenience. Controlling them matters. And at the same time, the honeybee population in this country has been under serious pressure for 20 years. There are many reasons for that, but one of them is the same chemicals being used to kill mosquitoes in suburban yards are also landing on bees that had nothing to do with the problem. You cannot solve one crisis by quietly creating another one. BTI does not kill bees. Essential oil sprays do not kill bees. Dumping the saucer under your flower pot kills nothing except the mosquito nursery you were hosting without knowing it. The whole system costs less than one professional spray treatment, takes one weekend to set up, and you can run it yourself every summer with no contract, no truck pulling up, and no bees paying the price. The families in Holmes County figured this out generations back and just never stopped doing it. Not because they are clever, because when you cannot call the company and you cannot pay the contract, and your hives are 20 feet from your kitchen door, you find what actually works without breaking what you love. What they found is that the mosquito problem is a water problem, and the water problem is one you can solve for $17 and one Saturday morning. So here's what I want you to do this weekend. Walk your property with an empty coffee can. Tip out every saucer, every tarp fold, every container that has been sitting with water for more than 3 days. That is step one, and it costs nothing. Put out 3 dark-colored buckets, one on each side of your house, away from where you eat and sit. Fill them halfway with water, add a handful of grass clippings, float 1 spoonful of mosquito bits on the surface. Leave them alone. Toss a dunk into your rain barrel, your gutters if they are holding debris, any low spot that stays wet after a rain. First of every month, May through September. If you have time, get a pump sprayer and a bottle of essential oil mosquito blend and spend 45 minutes spraying the underside of every shrub, the back of your woodpile, and the edges of your porch. Work in the morning or early evening when pollinators are not actively foraging. That is your weekend. Under $60 the first time, under $30 every summer after that. And by next Saturday evening, you will be sitting on your porch with the fireflies coming out and the bees settling into the lavender and no mosquitoes coming for you. Tell me in the comments where you live and what your mosquito situation looks like right now. I read every one of these. And if you put out the bucket this weekend, come back and tell me what happened. The people who share back are the reason I keep making these. Next time, I am going to show you something else I noticed on that same trip. Every one of those farmhouses was cooler than it had any right to be. No air conditioning, no electric bill, no machinery fighting the heat. Just the way the house was built, and drops the temperature in your upstairs rooms by several degrees overnight. The people selling you a $3,000 HVAC unit have known about it for decades. I will see you there. Stay curious, stay watchful,